Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Bear with me. This has been a morning. Let me start by saying and apologizing now. I am totally not prepared for this change in schedule. Let me turn this off. I'm getting an echo from somewhere, so it gotta be this one. I hope everybody else's Saturday is going great. It's muted. I don't know. For some reason, I'm still hearing an echo from somewhere. Tell me in the chat if you can hear echo. Hey, Dom. Hey, Elias. Guys, if you can share this out, I had to change everything. It'll all make sense. Y'all never seen me do that. Just it'll all make sense in the food. But if you can share this out, because some of the information I'm gonna share today is going to be helpful to somebody. As we do that, come on. Good morning, Rock. Good morning, Elias. Let's see if I see anybody else. Anybody else? Yeah, so I had to change the thumbnail and everything. And sometimes when you do that, then if you had a notification, that notification doesn't stick. So I do apologize. But like I said, it's some very important information I'm going to share. If anybody, good morning, Keisha. If anybody don't catch this live, I apologize for the switch in schedule. But as I explained my morning to you, it will make perfectly good sense. And if you love your animals, like, most of us do, nothing else ever didn't even matter at that moment. So keep coming on in. Like I said, I'm a little off, but I'm gonna be together. Things could have turned out a whole lot worse. Hey, bro. Hope you guys having an amazing day. What time does the cookout start? So just, come on in. Like I shared in the thumbnail, some of what I might share. I'm sharing it for like informational purposes, but it's hard for me to listen to, so I know it's going to be hard for some of you to listen to. So feel free to mute. And some of it I chose not to share at all, but I think some of it is important to share. All right. What else we got? I don't know. He's probably driving because I know they're out or should be at the show. And then they should be having a fun cookout with the fam. So I'm checking. All right, guys. So, as you see in the thumbnail, I almost lost Larry this morning. So this morning we got up early. I'm sorry, Elias, can you tell me if you can hear echo? Because I'm hearing echo, but maybe you guys are not. Okay. So I decided not to upload the video, but do want to share the experience. So we was going to the reptile show this morning, and so just as normal, before we leave the house, I just check all the animals. It's very cold here. It has been very cold here for the last few days. Checking, I said to Michael, Michael, hey, double check to make sure Larry's water heater is on. Nothing tripped or anything like that. It's just something that I always do and always say. So Michael goes in there, and he said, "Mine's really cold in there." And so I was like, okay, thinking he meant the garage, because the garage certain points can be cold, but then when you get closer to where Larry is enclosed, the temperature changes. So he, I said, well, is his water heater on? Michael said, no. So I said, go and check the surge protector. So Michael hit the surge protector. So he goes over there. And then I said, well, where's Larry? And he said, I don't see him. I said, and he didn't move when you came in there? He said, no. So instantly, I knew something ain't right. Because if you go in Larry's enclosure, hey, Teresa, hey, Big D, if you go into Larry's enclosure, you're going to hear him. Even if he's not coming out to me, because if I go in there, he comes out and kind of like crawls over things and to get to me real fast. You're going to hear him. If Michael goes in there, even if he don't come out, you're still going to hear him. Good morning, Mitzi. So, Michael, once he said that, I just knew. So I'm dressed, y'all. I was cute, getting ready to go ahead and be a good, videographer and do my little YouTube interviewing things today at the MD Reptile Show up in York, PA. So I walked, we go out, everything's good. Coming back, we get away, about 50 minutes away, come back, and it's the alerts start to go, the alarms start to go off. Excuse me, I'm just all over the place. The alarms start to go off. So then we go in there, shoot in there, Larry's not moving. And when I say I went to pick him up, he wasn't moving at all. Like limp, like you guys, if you have lizards, like it's a different, especially a water monitor. So water monitor has a body mass. Like I could never just go in and just pick Larry up. That ain't, he is a lot to pick him up. He has to do it with me. He has to climb on me. So I go over there, just pick him up. I know where his little hiding space is. So if he's in distress, I'm gonna go straight where his hiding space is, go pick him up. He wouldn't move, his tail didn't move, nothing. He's gone. And in my head, Larry is completely gone. But the reason why I'm sharing this, to say that for educational purposes, hey, Mike, everything that we talk about, like on 2Ps in a podcast, or you're watching other podcast shows and they talk about things that happen. For me, you always hear me say, I never like lost an animal for like, just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like a loss. Like they get old and things like that. And that's my goal. So Larry, though, is like, he is the most expensive animal in this house. Yes, the most expensive animal in this house, including more expensive than the golden child cow. Take it back. He's not as expensive as some of my ball pythons, but out of everything else, and y'all understand why ball pythons cost way more. Hey, Snake Man. So I go and Derek is turning out. This is going to end up, y'all, promise to be a miraculous and wonderful story. So my son's upset. He calls my husband because I lost it. I'm screaming. I'm yelling. I'm immediately putting everything I know to do into play. It's an animal. It's a living being. Started compressing. And I knew I had to warm his body up immediately. So I started compressing his chest. Get upstairs. So my water monitor has never been in my bathtub. So I have a jacuzzi style tub. So I don't care, and trust me, my husband at that moment probably is thinking to himself, he don't care either. I don't put him in there because this our bathroom. But I took him to that bathroom, got the water running, and I started it off. At 82 degrees, and I put him in it. He's lifeless, y'all. Lifeless. And like I said, I'm not one of the people who want to show everything. And for me and my son, this has been a traumatic. Like when I reached out to my people, I would tell you, I wasn't the person I am right now. Like literally terrified. So get him in there, running the water, and in my heart, y'all, I'm saying he's gone. And I'm already in my mind, trying to cope with how to deal with the fact of not having him anymore. But in my mind, it said, forget all of that. Do everything you can to save him. And so he's still cold. And his body starts to warm up from the water naturally. And then my son comes in there, of course, to console me. And you see what looks like his tail might have like jerked. And I said, that's just the waves of the water, because I'm running the water, because I know to bring the water all the way up to right here where, you know, his little minerals are. So that way the water is heating up from here down to here. He started still his head, eyes still dilated. Now with a water monitor, when a water monitor is kind of asleep, he normally, his eyes is closed. He doesn't normally sleep like this. So that's how he was when we found him. So his eyes were like that. And so I got him in there. Then all of a sudden, his back leg looked like it moved. So I called my son, and Michael was like, "Ma, I think he's moving his own. Just let him go," because I couldn't let him go. So I'm kind of like moving him to the current. I'm nervous. I'm losing it. So Michael said, "Just let him go." So I let him go, and he kind of like went down under the water all the way. No bubbles, no nothing. But then that tail started to move. And then it started to really move. But he's still not moving. Because Larry, when he woke, is going to, in strange place, he's going to let you know. He's going to run everywhere. So I put my feet in the water and stuck my feet like underneath him, because I wanted to feel like if I can feel him starting to breathe. So he's in the water. I put my feet underneath him in the water, and you can all of a sudden feel him like slow breaths, real slow breaths, but his head is still turned and his eyes are still back. So about 15 minutes later, his back legs kind of started to move. So it's almost like his body warmed up from the tail going up. Then his shoulders, and then all of a sudden his head was still like this, but then his leg went over his eyes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a good sign. So I let him like just go through the process, because I realized, you know, his body is heating up, and I didn't want to rush it. And I didn't want to make it slow it down. So I kept the water. I raised it up to a steady 85 degrees. And then I opened up all of the windows. And I will probably, I'm going to do a video on this, y'all. So I'll share the video. What I want to do is take the audio out the video. Because the audio is of me, not just out of it. And that's not what I want y'all to get out of it. I want y'all to get off the different stages and different things you can see me doing without the audio. You can see what I'm doing without the audio. And we didn't capture anything. We didn't capture him in his enclosure at all. At that moment, of course, I'm in straight panic mode, straight savior mode. I didn't start to record until I started to see his tail move, or I don't believe Michael even recorded anything at that point. It was just more of getting him, like, we wasn't thinking about recording until he started to like really come through. Hey Chantel, I'm sorry guys, I wasn't paying attention. Hey Pike, hey Matt, I'm so sorry. I should have been seeing some of you guys today. Well, I'm not sure if you were going, but I had planned to be in PA. So, okay, yeah. So, then, what I did was at that particular point, I kept the water running at that temperature, took the water heater and brought it up in there just to make sure it stays there. Opened up all of the windows in my bathroom, because if you open up the windows, all the sun will come in. I never had the windows open. In fact, I got brown blinds in there, like those spa blinds, because I don't like a lot of sun in my bathroom, like this spa feeling. But I opened all the windows, and the sun is like beaming on him, like giving him natural basking, because it's hot as crap when you open up all of those windows up there. And then the water is running. So he's getting what he needs. And then all of a sudden, he looked up like this and looked back at me, and then put his head back down. You can still see him breathing real slow. So this was like, y'all, like a hour and a half, 2 hour process. I think when I realized he was good, shout out to Chris Eaton. I was talking to him, and I got some laughs right before this podcast to help me prepare for this, because like I said, I was just, I didn't look, I mean, I lost it. Like I sent pictures to the chat saying, you know, I look like what I've been through, which is not what I look like now. But I will tell you guys, it was a horrible thing and a horrible feeling. But one of the things I wanted to share is right now, as we get to the process, he started to look back. He went through stages to get back to Larry, but I knew he wasn't 100% until he did what Larry should have done. Larry has never been in my bathroom. Never. Larry and the tables have their own bathroom. Like if I bring them in the house, it's their own room with a bathtub, and they go in there. They don't go in my bathroom. So I knew if Larry was Larry, he would realize, okay, even though you're right here, I'm in a strange place, and he should have freaked out. And I waited for that. He didn't do that for about 40 minutes. But when he did, he did. So he freaked out, and I was happy. But then he freaked out, kind of like calmed down. Normally, I don't actually, if you can see my hand, so a little, probably can't see, a little scratch. Because normally when I'm dealing with Larry, we engaging with each other. So I don't have to like put stuff on my arms. So you won't see scratches on my arms or anything like that. But when he first became alert, he kind of like put his little nail when I went to pick him up right here in my hand. But then he was fine, and my arms and everything is good. So when he did that, I knew he was okay. So what I decided is that until my husband can make it home and he can just like see what happened, because what my husband said, this was the learning experience. So remember, guys, I talk about having things in place. The reason why me and Michael knew something was wrong is because when we knew that something tripped it and we turned the breaker back on, I made sure that I was going to pay attention to my alerts when we left. When the alerts went off, you know, oh my God, let me just drive back. Not thinking it's that bad though, you know, not thinking that it was that cold that, hey Mike, that it was that cold that it would, you know, he would be in that state. Like I that's not what I was thinking. So my husband said though, early this morning we had the team, and the team said to him that there was some type of wire surge or brown surge is what it caused, and then it said it recovered. So because it said it recovered, he didn't mention anything to me. Normally, like the other day when he said it was a brown wire or something and it gives that alert, he'll tell me to go and check everything. And the team pretty much checks your inner wire systems. It checks for anything that may surge, go out, or anything like that. But we determined that the team can pick up that surge, but even though it said it recovered, that in the recovery, it didn't reset that particular power surge. And so because it didn't reset that particular power surge, his water heater and that heating, like his basket was on, but the basket alone is not going to keep his overall ambient to where it needs to be consistently. And if his overall ambient is not where it's going to be, Larry knows my basket not on point either. The things that probably saved him, hey Brad, is I didn't feed him in the last 2 days, because if he had food in his stomach, he would not, that food would have rotted, and that would have been a whole different scenario. The other thing that saved him is definitely having the backup alert to my phone, because if I didn't, I would never know. I would be in Pennsylvania. I came home to definitely a deceased water monitor. And more importantly, guys, even in my panic, I still acted in the best interest of my animal. I didn't care about nothing else right then and there. I didn't even message the venue to let them know, which is, his name is Larry too. And so I realized that Larry would be coming too. I didn't know what to tell him or anything, but I knew that I wasn't going to leave him today. Larry, my husband, and I already discussed, will be living in the house tonight until I can confirm, and probably till tomorrow when I can get him to the vet, just to confirm he sounds good. In one of the videos, when I put the video together, you're not going to hear the audio. For all the videos, any video that I put on there, if I'm hollering and screaming, guys, y'all not going to hear that, because I'm hollering and screaming like I lost something, and I don't want people. It's not for sensationalizing; it's for education. Then I'll play the videos though when I got to the point that I calmed down enough and I can kind of engage with him in a calmer manner and things like that. What's amazing is, for the first time ever, my husband, when he came back for probably like the right 10 minutes before I did this, he went into the bathroom and Larry did not run at all. Normally, if my husband comes into his enclosure or Michael comes into his enclosure, he'll hide from them. He'll run to me and hide from them. Teresa, you know I lost it, okay? You know, panic wasn't even the word. So then he's up in my bathroom now, y'all. He looks like he likes it, like he's really loving being in there. He's back to himself, still watching his respiratory. Once I've done the podcast, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back upstairs in my room. I'm going to take him out the bathroom, let him come into the bedroom, dry off a little bit. And then we setting up a temporary basket spot in my bedroom for him to see if he wants to bath there. And that's when I make sure just put him on me, like put him on my body to make sure everything's good, that he's doing everything Larry would do normally, breathing wise, looking at his nose, make sure nothing is red. He looks really, 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 really good right now. I'm laughing because I sit right now underneath of my bathroom and I can hear him upstairs, but he's on the, when we left, he was on the lip of the window, like literally just basking and just looked so content being in the bay window right there. So hopefully he's going to be good. I apologize for those of you who, you know, really wanted to probably see the reptile show today, but as you can imagine, that was not going to happen, no way in hell, if Larry didn't make it today. And though he's made it, it is my responsibility to make sure he's 100% okay, and I just want to directly supervise him, so he won't be in his home. Although his temperatures and everything look good right now, I just want to make sure that he's, Mike, glad is an understatement. I am, for about 45 minutes, y'all, I just really honestly thought he was gone. Like, I can't even describe the state that he was in. And my poor son, you know, was just so worried about me, but, you know, going through his own thing, because he apparently was the first one who went to him when we came in here. But again, it could have been worse. And the things that we talk about, the systems that you have in place, listening to them, responding to them, no matter what the inconvenience is. Like, there are times that your alarms can go off and everything is okay. But, you know, we can't take for granted that that just does that sometimes. And you just have to check to make sure that everything's good. The other part is that I'm fortunate and I'm glad that I've watched enough videos on water monitors and listen to other podcasts, Nerd, you know, Kevin, talk about, you know, different things that you would do in situations like that. I think the best thing for me and what I'm most grateful for is that I did have a place to, other than his swimming pool, to submerge his whole body, you know. That was a blessing. Like, I'm counting my blessings along the way. I'm glad that Michael was here, you know, to help me through it, because you know, if Michael and my husband was gone, I don't know, you know, if all the things that had to happen right away would have happened, like pull this, grab that, you know, and that type of stuff. And I'm grateful that my husband loved me enough to have an Asian water monitor in his bathroom right now. So we won't, I know he won't be using that bathroom probably tonight, but who knows? Like I told him, when he went in there just now, he was fine. Larry was fine. He looked like he is enjoying it. That's the funny thing. I wish I had some of the video edited so I can upload it for you guys today, but this was the last picture I took of him before. I don't know if you guys can see it because of the light. Let me see. Let's see if I can block. Before I came down here. So this is him basking on the side of my bathtub. So that was the last photo I took of him before I came downstairs. So hopefully he is going to be fine. These are just like us going through the process, you know. This was me after I realized, damn it, he's going to be okay. But and that's him like standing behind me. But I'll put it all into a video. I just, like I said, I want to edit some of what you guys heard. But if you can even see, the video can show you transitionally how Larry, how the process of what happens with their body as they start to come back. But I wanted to share this because one, I never had to go through anything like this. I'm glad though in going through it. My husband and I, we bought Larry a backup. Actually, it's a radiant heat panel, which will act as a backup to any other heat systems in there. Never needed it for 3 years. So just kind of going to rush us to go ahead and do that. But even then, like I told my husband, if the backup heating system is on a brown wire and the alerts come to my phone, I want to be able to come and see what's going on. I don't care how far away. Good thing we wasn't like out of the state. But if we were out of the state, good point is my son would have been here. He wouldn't have been going away. He wouldn't have been with me. He would have been here. And he would have heard the alerts, or my phone would have alerted me, and I could have called my son or my nephew who takes care of the animals when we are away. But it's rare that we all leave the house at the exact same time. But today was one of those days, since Michael was going to help me at the Reptile Show, that we were going to have to do that. But I'm just grateful to God, because if I lost him, today was going to be the first time, y'all, that there was not going to be a Reptiles and Cocktails at all, okay? So let me just take a moment. Don't go anywhere. I want to take a time and to make sure that we honor our sponsor for this episode, which this is the episode where GP Snakes is the episode for Reptiles and Cocktails, and starting Monday, Maki is the sponsor's episode for Two Peas in a Podcast. And if anybody is interested and sponsoring any one of the podcasts, please DM me through Instagram, not Facebook, but through Instagram, unless I talk to you already through Facebook Messenger. But if I don't, just DM me through Instagram and we can work something out. So let's take the time and just honor GP Snakes.
The sponsor of this episode is Gershon of GP Snakes. Gershon is a ball python breeder, and he is an awesome advocate for a sense of community in the ball python hobby. I am a lucky and honored customer of Gershon's, where I purchased these beautiful clown head albinos. Gershon is the host of Under 1,000 Pod that airs every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Next up, that airs every second Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And he also does Grow Out, that airs 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, the last Thursday of every month. He's very busy. You can find him on all platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you, Gershon, for all that you do for the community. Follow Gershon, and definitely, if you're looking for some awesome animals, look him up on Morph Market as well.
All right. Thank you, Gershon. And also shout out to the Maryland Reptile Farm. I know, guys, I missed probably the first half of the comments. I apologize. I just wanted to get through that because it's hard to even visit. And then y'all heard that? That's him above me. Who knows what's going upstairs in my bathroom? What we did do, though, was take down anything that could kill him or anything that he could break and put it like in a bin. So it's not much he can do up there. I'm glad he's okay too. And Larry is actually named, y'all, after our uncle, my Uncle Larry. So I named him. I got Larry the week that my Uncle Larry passed away from cancer, and I named him after my uncle. So that's another part, that was quite emotional in all of this. Hey, Brad. He said, hey, what's up to Mike? Definitely a panic. Thank you, Snake Man. I'm hoping he's, 100% okay. The only thing we have to worry about when an animal of his size specifically go down like that, and that's not the nature of him. Like, he's not a tiger, you know what I mean? They go down like that. is when they come back that if they develop any type of respiratory viruses or anything like that. So prayerfully not. I hope not. That's why I'm trying to keep him. My bathroom is warm right now. Asian water monitor warm right now. And like I said, we're gonna set up a temporary basket spot for him in the bedroom. So when he's not, you know, in the water or don't want to be in the bathroom, he has a place where he can still bask. I don't want to set it up in the bathroom and he knocks it down into the water. Yes, he's definitely a soldier. And I'm looking at him like, and it's like almost like a part of him, like it's just like so humbled. Like I said, how he just looked at my husband, or he just like our bathroom that much that it doesn't frighten him. You know, I don't know what it is. But normally when he see my husband, he see that height coming up, he goes to hide or at least walk away, or come towards me. He normally doesn't just sit there and let my husband talk to him and all that kind of stuff, and he did today. Yeah, Mitzi, I'm just grateful that the good Lord knew that he had to recover, because Lord, that y'all always hear me say, like when I talked about the animals that that's one of the ones that my husband would have to keep if I died. You know, I definitely don't want to lose them. Thank you, Mike, so much. Shout out to, the family too. Like, cause that's, of course, I let them know as soon as everything was going down, and just the prayers and everything like that for him. Oh, Brad, thank you. Thank you. I just love my animals. I love my animals more than I love people, so other than like my grandchildren and my children, my siblings, like my animals are the same thing I would have done if that was a grandchild. Like that's my reaction for my animals, and that's just the honest truth. Like if I had to give Larry mouth to mouth, if the vet said he recommended me giving him mouth to mouth, me in the water monitor was going to be mouth to mouth. Oh, Kara Shay, what state are you in? I was supposed to be at the show today too. Hey, Uniquely, thank you for coming through today. And like I said, thank you to all of y'all, because I know I kind of just switched the whole program instantaneously. But like I said, you guys will understand and you guys follow. So y'all know that my baby, ain't nothing else matter. Nothing. I think at one point, my son said my truck was running and the keys was in the truck. I didn't care. Somebody would get a BMW truck today. I didn't care. All was going to happen was that I need my water monitor to live. If that person needed to ride at that moment, I did not give a damn. I wanted my baby to be okay. And I would not have been okay going anywhere if he didn't make it, or if he did make it. I will be personally, he's in ICU today. He is in ICU. He is literally right there at the nurse's station. But like I said, shout out to my husband, because I know in his mind sometimes he'd be like, did she just say we sleeping in the house with the water monitor, like in the bedroom with the water monitor, and the water monitor is in the bathroom? That's what she said. That's what your girl said. Oh, crap. Rock, let's see. Just trying to get through the chat because I know I missed so much. GP, I don't know if you were in, but we definitely shout out GP, the sponsor, all day, every day. GP killed it too. I was so proud. Did really a great job on loving like the different flavors on Trap Talk. GP, you did amazing, and that was a great conversation with you and MJ. Like, oh, we got money. She's so stupid, Elias. Look, Elias, you should have seen how quick. It wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even a thought at all. Like, that's here we go. I'm gonna need to get him where he need to get got. Shoot. And grabbed. Look, I even wrapped him in like a fancy towel. I grabbed the first thing I had. Look, I ain't got time when it come to them. How you say he can knock that whole bathroom over. I wouldn't care. It was the KY show, so small but wanted to show support. Oh, okay. So you're in Kentucky. Okay, yeah. So the one I was going to go to today is one of the smaller shows, but I think it's important that we give more focus on some of the smaller shows so they can become bigger shows too. So I was very disappointed. I was so excited. Y'all had all of my stuff together, had packed everything every night. My husband had loaded up the truck so nicely. I had everything that was just going to be just together, and I was going to enjoy my day, meeting more of the local vendors and stuff. But I'll get to do it again next week. And I also going to be interviewing Ed Tuaco. If y'all know who that is, he's out of the UK. If you ever hear me talk about, there was a 5-year-old little girl who taught me a lot about retics, it's his daughter. If you ever heard me talk about when I saw a retic try to do yoga with its owner, it's his daughter. Documented. They have done other shows, EMSN and things like that. He is probably one of the ones who got some of the best educational and just straight to it responses to people who have negative reptile stories. So I'm so excited to have Ed to come on. I didn't even know if he would. He's like kind of like in a cut type. He only, I think for him, like Emmy, you can't deny. If y'all haven't ever, if you ever never saw this little girl, I think Emmy is like probably like 9 years old now. But when I started to see her, she was like 4 or 5 years old, and she has a wonderful relationships, even down to having tea parties with her reticulated pythons. You can Google it. You can look on YouTube. Their snakes' names are Sunny and Cher. If you Google Sunny and Cher the retics, Ed Teoka and his daughter, and Ed, I hope I'm saying it last name, I think it's Teoka, and his daughter Emmy, will come up, and you'll see a whole like genre of wonderful videos of them out there, and her amazing relationship with her two full adult, very large reticulated python, Sunny and Cher. Thank you, GP. I'm so glad he's okay too. I would not be okay if he wasn't. Right, Snake Man? Teresa, I sure did. No, shoot. Niggas could have took all them cars. I wouldn't have cared. I did not. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't even think. It was whatever. Let me get in the house and take care of whatever's going on in that house. And when I saw Larry, it was it. Okay. Southern Illinois. Okay. Hey, Shawnees. Hey, cousin. Kara, Shane, uniquely, are y'all going to be at Tinley next month? Hey, Shane. Shane, are you going to be at Tinley next month? I was hoping to find some isopods, but no luck. Let's see. Just getting through the chat, y'all. Apologize. I'm thinking yes on Tinley, but not 100%. Okay. Well, yeah, we definitely got Tinley coming up, and I think NARBC is next week. So guys, I didn't want to not come on, because prayerfully and gratefully, and hopefully he'll be 100% okay. He's definitely, I can hear him acting like himself right now. But I'm definitely eager to get upstairs and get my eyes on him and spend some time with him, and just kind of observe him throughout the day. But I appreciate all the love and support. I appreciate you guys being here for the quick change in schedule and program. But as you can only imagine, Nicole, you taking cargo, man. Yep. No. So no. We're driving our truck pipe down, which it actually has that area where if we, transform it, it gives us that extra cargo space. But yes, we're driving though. I convinced him, Pike. He's gonna roll with a sister. He's gonna drive, which is cool. What we're gonna do is just like drive one day, pick a state to just kind of spend a day in, and then halfway through, and then drive, down a little further. So, but yeah, we'll definitely be coming in the drive, and I can buy stuff this year. Like the March Tinley last year did not make me feel as October Tinley. October Tinley, y'all, I could have had some amazing enclosures for $250 a pop. And all I could think of was the shipping on them would be hideous, and I didn't have a way to drive them back. And so I am going to, I like to drive. Like I'm okay with that. My husband is more like, let's get on this plane, and let's go. So we shall see. But again, shout out to everybody. Oh, tune in to Two Peas in the Podcast on Monday. Monday morning is going to be a good one, y'all. So I don't know if you guys actually seen my shorts, but it's response without being tacky, because I don't want to insult the person who responded type of thing. But I'm going to do a segment on how people respond with the Bible when it comes to reptiles. And in this segment, I shared with this individual that I have studied Christianity and I also study Islam. I still very much can still speak my Fatihas in Arabic, that study. And I wanted to point out, I used Monday to educate those type of people, not to challenge them, because the Bible, the serpent has places, of course, I'm going to talk more about it, but just the serpent has, or the snake has places in the Bible, but how he's used, the serpent or the snake was never a bad thing. It was how other people and other demons used it, right? And then we're going to point out the areas, like for this particular person, the person said, well, you show me one place in the Bible, it says snakes for good. And I told him, just read the books of Acts and come back to me. Just start there. I got about 19 off the top of my head, but you just start with Acts. I'm going to give y'all some of the 19 on Monday. We're not going to church, but we're going to go to Reptile Church. So people are empowered to respond educatingly to these people. So people are empowered to respond to people who say these things, and with some empowerment, and not run from it. Even if it's your grandmother who's the deaconess in the church, you'll be able to use the words of the good book that she also reads to be able to help her understand how she misinterpreted the book of Genesis, and how she misinterpreted the book of Matthew, and how she misinterpreted the book of Acts. So I'm going to definitely go down that lane on Monday. It's going to be a good one. Dre going with me. I'm bringing the devil to church with me. No, we're going to go down that lane on Monday. Unless, God forbid, something goes south with Larry. But I think he's good from what it sounds like up there. But I think it's a topic that a lot of people don't touch. And like I said, I'm coming with the scripture that is used against us. And I'm also coming with breaking down the symbolization of the medical sign. There are words attached to biblical instances attached to the words that the serpent on the cross actually represents in the medical field. And so we're going to touch more into that. But like I said, just a little educational, like we do on Mondays. I'm sure it's going to be some cut up too, people feedback. But it will empower you to, hey, Ken, to conversate with the people who assume because they go to church, they know the Bible. Because anytime a person that goes to church say off the rip to me, where in the Bible, it tells me you never read the Bible. Because me, not being a holier than thou person, far from it, ain't never crossed the than thou part, but I've done a lot of church. I've done a lot of masjid. I've done a lot of reading. And so if I, as a person, know that it's at least 19 off the top of my head, and that's at least 19 off the top of my head, the person who goes every Sunday definitely should know where in the Bible, at least once, it speaks about snake and good. So we're going to do that on Monday. So until then, y'all, I am going to be running out of here. Like I said, I appreciate you all. If you missed the beginning, I apologize for the quick change in schedule. But as you can see, it was necessary. And I'm gonna go upstairs and take care of my baby, spend some time with my baby, and make sure he's all good for the hood. But I will see you guys on Monday. Right after this, I think we have, like I said, we have Kent from Craft Brew at 4. But I learned also, I believe it should be 3 o'clock Central Time, which might be 2 o'clock our time. So right after this, Audra. And oh my God, why did my mind just go blank? Come on, y'all, somebody help me. You know, the Gecko family, the ones who made all the money from the Geckos, they're now doing ball pythons. Beautiful girl, black husband. Y'all know who I'm talking about. My mind is gone, and I feel so bad because I love them. Anyway, they have a show. It's gonna come to y'all too at 2 o'clock. That they're doing. Damn, y'all know what I'm talking about. They got all the fresh gear and everything. All right, anyway, I just remember Audra because she has beautiful red hair. But if y'all can definitely check them out, they have a show at 3, and I learned that now. Flawless, thank you, Mitzi. Flawless Exotics. Thank you. I'm like, what's my head? They have a show, and I think their whole story is phenomenal. So you should check them out too. You know, so I think they're coming on at 2 o'clock. It should be 2 o'clock my time, Eastern time, but I think it's 3 o'clock Central their time. But until then, guys, peace. See you Monday.